to the body. And what is the result of that? Naiva tyagam phalam labhet. One does not get the desired result of tyag, such kind of tyag as well. So basically, this is also not proper kind of tyag or renunciation. Yes, somebody can read the purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'll read.
Yes, please.
One who is in Krishna consciousness should not give up earning money out of fear that he is performing fruitive activities. If by working one can engage his money in Krishna consciousness, or by rising early in the morning, one can advance his transcendental Krishna consciousness, one should not desist out of fear or because such activities are considered troublesome. Such renunciation is in the mode of passion. The result of passionate work is always miserable. If a person renounces work in that spirit, he never gets the result of renunciation.
Yeah. So we can see that people sometimes fear of getting up early in the morning. They feel that, oh, I may not get proper sleep, or in the daytime I have to work so much. So there may be n number of reasons like that, because of which one may fear of getting up early in the morning, because there is so much trouble to the body. But then that has not to be considered when performing one's nitya karma. If the nitya karma is there to attend Mangalarati in the morning, then that has to be performed, come what may. So just considering it to be trouble to the body, one doesn't do it, then as Krishna is mentioning, it is nothing but tyaga in mode of passion. And Srila has set such a wonderful example, is epitome of everything. When there was a Kumbh Mela I think in Allahabad or somewhere. So Prabhupada was there along with his disciples, and he observed that actually Prabhupada was a little bit sick, he was feverish. So 1 or 2 days he could not wake up and attend for the morning program. And then he got to know from other devotees, some senior devotees, that many devotees are not coming for the morning program. So then the third day, Srila Prabhupada got up early in the morning. He went to the hand pump and pulled out water, and he took cold water bath despite having fever, and taught by his own example that how it is important to perform one's fixed up daily activities. So, and then by that, all the devotees, they were a little bit, ashamed, and then everyone started coming on time. So we see that Lord Krishna also said in second chapter, Matra Sparsha Sukonteya Shitoshna Sukadukkada Agama Apayana Anityaha Tam Sitikshasva Bharata. That these the effects of cold and hot and Sukha Dukkha, happiness and distress, is nothing but when the senses come in contact with the object of the senses. But one should learn to tolerate these dualities. And Srila Prabhupada gives this same example there, that in the month of Magh, when there is too much of cold, a person in Krishna consciousness does not hesitate to take cold water bath. And at the same time, a lady in the kitchen does not hesitate to cook during the hot summer season. So that are the examples of this Matra Sparsha, and as Krishna is mentioning here. So one should not unnecessarily give up or desist out of fear that these are going to create troublesome. So such renunciation is also in mode of passion, and the result of that is miserable. So he will never get the desired result of renunciation. Going to the next verse. Karyam ityeva yat karma yatam kriyate Arjuna Sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva satyaga satviko matah. Translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
O Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done, and renounces all material associations and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes. So finally, then Krishna is giving the understanding about what is renunciation in mode of goodness. Karyam iti eva yat karma niyatam kriyate Arjuna. It is my duty to perform the prescribed duty, and hence I would do it. And then sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva, gives up all kinds of attachment, all kinds of material association, and gives up all kinds of attachment to the result of that activities. Satyaga satviko mataha. Such renunciation is considered to be in mode of goodness. Yes, can read the purport.
The prescribed duty must be performed with this mentality. One should act without attachment for the results. He should be disassociated from the modes of work. A man working in Krishna consciousness in a factory does not associate himself with the work of the factory, nor with the workers of the factory. He simply works for Krishna, and when he gives up the result for Krishna, he is acting transcendentally.
Yes, thank you very much. So from this, I just remembered one incident from the life of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. In the initial days when he and Vishnujan Swami Maharaj joined the temple, which was run by Jayanand Prabhu. So that time what had happened that Jayanand Prabhu would work all the day long as a taxi driver, and he would earn money and he would run the temple. But the funds were falling short. So when Prabhupada was informed about this, then Prabhupada said that why only Jayanand should work? Everyone should work. And then Prabhupada brought up this idea that all devotees should work and earn money. And then everyone started working, and Jayanand Prabhu got a job in one of the factory. And because here the same thing has been mentioned about work in factory, so I just remembered that. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj was working in the factory, and it was really a hard job, and he would still try to maintain his vows of chanting and find out time to chant in the day, all those things he was doing very faithfully. And then one day he saw that, one day he had a discussion with Vishnujan Maharaj, who had his earning source was that he was a musician, so he knew how to make flutes out of bamboo. So he made flutes, and he made such a flutes which would be very easy for people to play Hare Krishna on that. So he would all day play Hare Krishna on the flutes and inspire hippies to purchase these flutes. So one day we both had a discussion, and then Vishnujan Swami said that just see, my work is quite Krishna conscious, because I am simply whole day singing Hare Krishna on the flute, and I am selling these flutes, and you are working in a factory. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj was a little bit taken aback, and he was apprehensive about this understanding. He felt, no, but I am also ordered by Prabhupada to work. So how can my work be material work? But he had no much higher understanding to present it philosophically. So finally, they both reached to Garga Muni Prabhu, who was 1.5 years in Krishna consciousness. So in that sense, he was elder to them. And when they presented, then Tamal Krishna Maharaj explained that no, how working, if it is done for Krishna, then it is not counted whether somebody is doing Brahmana work or somebody is doing Shudra work. So if somebody is working for Krishna and giving up the results for Krishna, then he is acting transcendentally. So that is how he reconciled both of them. So now what I'll do is I'll just show the slide to all of you. You can just stop this sharing of the screen. Yeah. So you are able to see the screen now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so this is Nitya Karma. So when it is given up due to ignorance, then what happens? It leads to ignorance. And when the same Nitya Karma is given up due to being troublesome, then what happens? He doesn't get the desired result of that. And then the same Nitya Karma, instead of giving it up, if it is done as a matter of duty, then what happens? Then he attains the result. What is the result of liberation or renunciation? Is attaining knowledge, and then finally liberation. So he attains that result. But how does he does this Nitya Karma, the last one golden line, how does he do that? He does that giving up attachment, material attachment, and he does that giving up the fruits of action. So you can all make it out from the color that black is ignorance, red is mode of passion, and yellow is mode of goodness. So these are the three characteristics, which is just what we discussed about giving sannyas of three categories, in mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. Yeah. So then we'll now go to verse number 10. Na dveshti akushalam karma.
न द्वेष्टि अकुशलं कर्म
कुशलेनानुसज्जते
कुशलेनानुसज्जते
त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टो
त्यागी
सत्त्वसमाविष्टो
मेधावी छिन्न संशयाः.
मेधावी
Translation.
Hare Krishna. The intelligent renouncer, situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work.
Yes. So here now Krishna is speaking about characteristics of somebody who is fixed up in sattvic tyag. What is that? Na dveshti akushalam karma. Akushalam karma means what? Akushal. Kushal means expert. So akushal is not expert. Or akushal can also mean which is not pleasing, and kushal means which is pleasing. So akushalam means what? Bathing in the winter. It's not pleasing, Even if you may bathe with hot water, still when there is too much of cold, immediately as soon as water has dripped out from the body, then you start feeling cold. So you don't feel like taking bath in winter. Or sometimes it happens that for some people it may be waking up early in the morning for chanting or Mangalarti, would be a struggle. So akushalam. Or another could be that kushalam means what? Bathing in summer. Oh, very nice. You may feel like going even 4 or 5 times in a day, and you are happy with it. So or other way, if we can see this, is that there are some activities at which we are very expert. Like some devotees may be expert in distributing books. They just go out with a bag full of books, and within an hour or two, their bag is empty. They come back and again refill it. So they are very kushala. So they like to do that. But what about akushalam activities? If that the book distributor, he may not be expert at singing, let's say, singing kirtan. And if he is told to do kirtan, so does he do kirtan with the same enthusiasm as he did book distribution? So that decides if he's in sattvic tyaga, he will do with that same enthusiasm. So like that. So Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that such a person situated in the transcendence should be understood to be most intelligent, medhavi, chinna samshayaha. and beyond all doubts in his activities. Chinna samshaya. There are no doubts about his work. So that is what we have to also analyze. That are we uh, are we hateful of inauspicious work, or are we attached to only auspicious work? So like that. So that decides in which type of renunciation we are situated. Yeah. So next verse. Nahi deha brita shakyam
न हि देहभृता शक्यं
yaktum karmanya sheshatah
त्यक्तुं कर्माणि
yastu karma phalatyagi
यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी
satyagityabhidhiyate.
त्यागीति
Translation.
Hare Krishna Guru. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces the fruits of action is called one who has truly renounced. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So this already Krishna has mentioned previously also. What happens is, after hearing this, that one should not give up the work, but one should give up the result of the work. One may feel, Are, instead of giving the result of the work, you have to work hard, and then the results are there, and you give it up. The better to give up the action only, rather than giving up the fruits. But then, as here mentioned here, or also previously in the 3rd chapter, 5th verse, nahi kaschit kshanamapi jato tishtatya karmakrit, that there is no time where living entity can stay without any kind of activity. So that is not possible, and that's why one should work. There's another saying from Hitopadesh, which Srila Prabhupada would quite a time he would quote that, or quite occasionally he would quote that. Nahi suptasya simhasya pravishanti mukhe mrigaha. That lion is considered to be the king of all animals, or king of the jungle. So even if he is the king of the jungle, he cannot think nahi suptasya simhasya, that I'll just keep sleeping in my den and pravishanti mukhe mrugaha, and some animal will come and enter into my mouth. So that lion cannot think like that. Even though he may be the king of the jungle, still when he has to find his prey, he has to go around and find out and catch hold of him, kill him, and eat it. And that also we see nowadays by the mercy of National Geographic and such channels. They show the shoot, that how the lion is struggling, and sometimes even after he catch hold of the prey, still sometimes the prey runs away. So there is a lot of struggle even for lion. So there is no one in this world who can stay without work, and that's why it is better that work in a complete detached way instead of working in attached way. So for this verse, Srila Prabhupada has written a very beautiful purport, and I would like somebody to read this.
Can I Hare Krishna? Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. The purport. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that one can never give up work at any time. Therefore, he who works for Krishna and does not enjoy the fruitive results, who offers everything to Krishna, is actually a renouncer. There are many.
So this is a very big qualification. Very nicely Prabhupada has put. He who works for Krishna and does not enjoy the fruitive results, who offers everything to Krishna, is actually renouncер. So working cannot be stopped. Results will also come after the working, but working has to be done for Krishna, and results are to be offered to Krishna. When that is done, then that person is called as actual renouncer. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, there are many.
Prabhuji, one quick question. If
can we take the question just after completing the purport?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. There are many members of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness who work very hard in their office or in the factory or some other place, and whatever they earn, they give it to the society. Such highly elevated souls are actually sannyasis and are situated in the renounced order of life. It is clearly outlined here how to renounce the fruits of work and for what purpose fruits should be renounced.
Yes. So from this we can understand that how Srila Prabhupada is having such a great broad vision to see the things in this world, and how he's able to connect everything what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita to day-to-day life of the people in general. So Prabhupada is saying here that even if somebody is working hard out in the office or factory or whichever place and offering the results, for the cause of furthering of Krishna consciousness in some way or the other, then such people are also called as sannyasis, or are situated in renounced order of life. So from this we understand that it is not something of the externals, but it is the state of consciousness. So that is to be understood from this. Yes, Prabhu, you had some question.
Yeah, Prabhuji, is this example is realistic? Like being a family person, if everything we just give everything and renounce everything, will it feasible in reality, Prabhuji?
Now, what does it mean giving up everything? What do you? I'm asking you a question. What does it mean?
Yeah, everything means whatever we earning, whatever we have, we just give everything.
Yeah. So that is not the intention mentioned here. Giving up everything means what? Means utilizing everything for the service of Krishna. Not anything for sense gratification. That is giving up. So whatever the daily needs are there, that doesn't come as a part of sense gratification. Because as a matter of running a house, a householder has to purchase certain things which are the daily needs to maintain the family. So they cannot be called as a sense gratification. He is utilizing the money which is earned just to maintain the family, which is centered around Krishna. So he has Krishna at his home, altar or images or whatever deities, and he is working, and then whatever earning are coming, he is utilizing to serve the Lord. Whoever guests come at his home, he offer them prasad, and by that he is offering mercy of Krishna to them. And then he is also going out and preaching or helping somebody in preaching, or he is donating his money to some cause of preaching, which is one of the aspect of this Krishna Consciousness Society, or he is utilizing his money for going for yatras instead of going around some trips to some materialistic places. So in this way, if we see the person who is utilizing all his money only for those activities which will make him advance in Krishna consciousness, that is called as giving up everything for Krishna.
Okay, Prabhuji,
Is
got
that
it, Prabhuji.
okay?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Any other question?
No, Prabhuji, actually, there is a shloka just now you mentioned that about the lion. So that's a shloka from the Chanakya Niti. Udyamenaiva siddhyanti karyani na manorathaihi nahi shuktasya simhasya pravishanti brukhe mrugaha. So it all says about Udyamenaiva siddhyanti. So everybody should work without expecting anything. They should get up and work. Okay,
Right. Thank you. Any other question or comment? Fine. So let's go to verse number 12. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha
Anishtam mishram cha
trividham karmana phalam
trividham karmana
Phalam
bhavati yatyanginam pretya
Bhavati
Bhavatyaginaam Pritya
na tu sannyasinam kvachit.
Natu
Sanyasinam Kvachit.
Translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy.
So just before going into the explanation of this verse, I just remember one more example for the question which was asked previously about offering everything to Krishna. So just like if I don't know, I think I might have given this example previously, but doesn't mind, we can repeat it because it is apt at this location. So just like if some of you is traveling from Hyderabad to Vrindavan. So you are traveling with a car and with family, and then on the way you have to stop to fill the petrol. You cannot say that, oh, filling petrol is materialistic activity, I will not work, I will not fill the petrol. But if that is done, then car will not reach the destination. So that has to be done. Then sometimes the children may say that, no, we want to stop and just relax a little bit here and there, or eat something. So then you have to stop and feed the children. So, and then there may be some nature's call. So for that also you have to stop. But there may be such stops, but at the same time, the person who is driving the car, his goal is fixed that he wants to reach Vrindavan. And that is what he wants to do. So he will make sure that he wants to go to Vrindavan. So that goal should not be forgotten. So similarly, in Grihastha Ashram, there may be some other duties which also need to be done as a matter of course of life. But the real goal is not to be forgotten. So when that is done, then a person acts in a proper way. Yeah. So now coming to this verse number 12. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha trividham karmana phalam. So there are three results of work. When the work is done, there are three results. What are they? It may be anishtam. That means one that is not desirable, and that is nothing but the hell. Going to hell because of the activities done, one may go to hell, and it is an anishtam. Or one may be getting ishtam, result. That ishtam is desirable. That is like going to Swarga or some higher planets for higher enjoyment. Or the result may be mishram, that mixed, that is in between. That means again human birth. So this is for whom? For one who does not perform work in a proper way. Or to be more specific, not performing the work without attachment to the results. Then he will get one of these three results. But one who is not attached to the result, then for him, he gets the correct result of liberation. So that's why he has no such result to suffer or enjoy. So once again, I would like to show a slide. So please, can you stop the screen sharing? So here we see that action will lead to reaction. Action will lead to reaction. So then the question arises, how a karma yogi with spirit of renunciation avoids bondage? If action is always going to lead to reaction, then how a karma yogi with a spirit of renunciation avoids bondage? So this may be the question which may arise in the mind, and then that's why Krishna is telling from the next verses onwards, from 13 to 17, Krishna is explaining that how one who works without the false identification of being a doer, and understands that Supreme Lord is a real doer. Such a person has knowledge of various causes of action. So this action which is mentioned here has got some causes. Because of that, the action takes place. So what are the causes is known by whom? Who is in knowledge and who doesn't have this false identification of being a doer, and who understand that the Supreme Lord is a doer. And then what are these causes? Panchaitani Mahabaho.
Panchaitani Mahabaho
Karanani Nibodhame.
Karanani
Karanani
bodhame.
Bodhame
Sankhye Kritante Proktani.
Sankhye
Sankhe
Krutante
Krutante
Proktani
Proktani.
Siddhaye Sarvakarmanam.
Siddhaye
Siddhaye Sarvakarmanam.
Sarvakarmanam.
Translation.
Hare Krishna. O mighty armed Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn of these from me.
So now, in this section, which is from 13 to 17, Krishna is going to tell us the 5 factors of action, because of which the action takes place, and then Krishna will tell that how, when, and what is the reason by which the person who is acting without without being attached to the results of the action, how he doesn't get bounded. So that will be explained by the Krishna in these coming verses. So yes, we read the translation, which is displayed on the screen.
The ultimate control is invested in the super soul, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Hide Sanivesta. Sorry, there is some disturbance. He is engaging everyone in certain activities by reminding him of his past actions, and Krishna conscious acts done under his direction from within yield no reaction, either in this life or in the life after that.
So Krishna, Srila Prabhupada is very merciful that what conclusion Krishna is going to give, he has already given there. That how the ultimate control is invested on the super soul. So how it is that we will see gradually. So here now Krishna is going to give us what are these 5 causes. Adhishthanam tatha karta.
Adhishthanam tatha karta.
Karanam cha prithak vidham.
Karanam cha prithak vidham.
Vividhascha prithak cheshta. Daivam chaivatra panchanam. Translation.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji. The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action.
Yes. So here Krishna is explaining what are the 5 factors of the action. Adhishthanam, that is the place of action, where it is going to take place, that is the body. Then second is karta, that is the doer of action. Who is a doer of action? So here we can see that it is the ahankar, or the consciousness reflected in false ego. And then karanam, or the instruments of action, that is the senses, which are pratak vida, various kinds of senses. Cheshta, the effort exerted by life hairs. These are also mentioned as prathak, cheshta. Means there are 5 life hairs, pran, apan, vyan, saman, udan, like that. And then daivam, that is a super soul. So like that, these are the 5 factors because of which the action takes place. Shariravan manobhiryat.
Sariravan
Karma prarabdha कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा चैते तस्य हेतवः Translation.
Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these 5 factors.
So here we can see that action is either performed by body, mind, or words. And that can be either nyayam or viparitam. Action performed by mind also can be nyayam or viparitam. Action performed by words also can be nyayam, viparitam. What is nyayam and viparitam? Right, wrong, right, wrong, right, wrong. So action performed by body can be right or wrong. Action performed by mind can be right or wrong. Action performed by words can be right or wrong. Srila Prabhupada says in this purport, the words right and wrong are very significant in this verse. Right work is done in terms of prescribed directions in the scriptures, and wrong work is the work done against the principles of scriptural injunctions. So time and again we see the same thing has been repeated and focused upon, that what is right and what is wrong is nothing but everything based on the scriptures. Nothing is whimsical. Everything is based on scriptures. Yes, the next verse. Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tuya pashyati akruta buddhitvan nasa pashyati durmatai. Translation.
Therefore, one who... Okay.
Mataji, please go ahead.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are.
Yes. So one who thinks himself only the doer means what? Kartaham iti manyate. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. The soul which thinks himself to be the doer, he is here mentioned as nasa pashyati durmati, that he is not at all intelligent and he cannot see things as they are, because he is tainted by the ahankara, vimudatma. Same thing. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudatma karta amiti manyate. He is thinking himself to be the karta. Why? Because he is not able to see the other 4 factors. He is only thinking that he is the only way there. Or Srila Prabhupada puts up in a very wonderful way. It's quite amazing. Srila Prabhupada says that he doesn't see the existence of super soul because other 4 factors. What are the 4 factors? Adhishthanam, body, which is able, we are able to see the body. Then karanam are the senses. Yes, we are able to see. Then cheshta, the work, endeavors done because of the life airs, that is also been seen. And what is one more? Adhisthana, Daivam, yeah, Daivam and Karta. Daivam and Karta. So Karta is he. In Ahankara is thinking he is only the doer, and he is not seeing the Daivam, the 5th one. So the most important thing he is not seeing, and that's why he is thinking that other 3 things are anyways there or not there, doesn't matter, but I am the one who is making everything happen. That is what is, that's why here it is said here, Nasa Pashyati Durmati. So when we read the translation purport of this, we'll come to know. Please read the purport.
A foolish person cannot understand that the super soul is sitting as within and conduct his actions. Although the material causes are the place, the worker, the endeavor, and senses, the final cause is the supreme, the personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should see not only the four material causes, but the supreme efficient cause as well. One who does not see the supreme thinks himself to be the doer. Hare
Yes. Thank you. So here, how Prabhupada has beautifully mentioned, that final cause, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, is not seen by such a foolish person. So then we will come to know in the next verse that who sees. If this Durmati is not able to see, then who is able to see? That is explained in the next verse. Yasya naham krito bhavo
Yasya naham krito bhavo
Krishna.
buddhir yasya na lipyate
Buddhiriyasya na lipyate
hatvapi sa imal lokan
Hatva
isa nimalokan
hanti na nibhadyate.
nahanti na nibadhyate.
Translation.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
cannot see your screen share.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
I cannot see the screen sharing. Yeah, now I. Thank you. Okay, Prabhuji. One who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, does not kill, nor is he bound by his actions. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here it is mentioned that who is able to see. Yasya na ahankrita bhavo, na ahankrita bhavo. One who doesn't have that ahankara buddhi, karta aham iti manyate. One who doesn't have that buddhi, one who is not thinking himself to be the doer. Buddhir yasya na lipyate. At the same time, one who is not attached to the action, whether it yields a good result or bad result, is not attached to that, even neither to the action nor to the result of the action. Hatvapi sa imal lokan, na thanti na nibhadyate. Either he may even kill people. Now we should understand this in the context of Krishna telling to Arjuna on the battlefield, that even if he kills people, he doesn't kills actually, nor he gets bound by that killing. He does not receive the reactions. Why? Because he is seeing everything in light of the real doer, that is a super soul, Daivam. Daivam is the real doer and not the puffed up false ego of a conditioned soul. So that is why he doesn't get any reaction out of this. Yes, can read the purport.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji. Yeah. In this verse, the Lord informs Arjuna that the desire not to fight arises from false ego. Arjuna thought himself to be the doer of the action, but he did not consider the supreme sanction within and without. If one does not know that a super sanction is there, why should he act? But one who knows the instruments of work, himself as the worker, and the Supreme Lord as a supreme sanctioner, is perfect in doing everything. Such a person is never in illusion. Personal activity and responsibility arise from false ego and godlessness, or a lack of Krishna consciousness. Anyone who is acting in Krishna consciousness under the direction of the super soul or the supreme personality of Godhead, even though killing does not kill, nor is he ever affected by the reaction of such killing. When a soldier kills under the command of a superior officer, he is not subject to be judged. But if a soldier kills on his own personal account, then he is certainly judged by the court of law. Hare Krishna.
This is a very famous example Srila Prabhupada quoted many times, that a soldier, when he is killing so many of the enemies in the battlefield, so that is under the direction of superior officer and is never questioned, but if the same soldier with his AK-47, he goes around in the public area and starts killing innocent people, then certainly he will be put under the court of law. So similarly, when such a person, yasya nahankrita bhavo, one who is not tainted with this false ego, then and he is not attached to the fruits of the work, such a person actually works under the direction of the Supreme Lord. And because he is working under the direction of the Supreme Lord, whatever action he performs doesn't bear any reaction. So that is being explained over here. So now how does it relate in our life? Because one may question that, I don't think so that I am fully freed from my false ego, nor do I think that I am fully detached from the fruits of my work. So then what's for me, So yes, that is why if we work under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, and we are in a mood of getting purified, then gradually we will reach that stage. And till the time we don't reach that stage, Krishna will make sure, or Krishna is very kind to such people, and he just offers some token reaction. So we have seen that whenever one devotee got a cut on the finger while cutting vegetables, so Srila Prabhupada said, actually your whole finger was supposed to get cut, but Krishna has reduced the reaction and he has just given a small cut. So that is there. So that's why we see that even just beginning of Krishna consciousness has so much to offer. So we can just imagine what would be the results when by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, we actually become Krishna conscious. So then this stage would be there, wherein we'll be fully motivated and directed by the super soul within, and externally it would match with the Guru Sadhu Shastra. So that also has to be understood, not that internally directed by a super soul means doing anything, but it will still conform with Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So that is the real beauty, and then that situation is there when the person will not get bound by his activities. So that is a result of acting in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. So we'll conclude today's discussion here. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Prabhuji, a small doubt. In 16th verse, it is mentioned, therefore one should see not only the four material causes, but the supreme efficient cause as well. So in this, like the doer, which is the soul, is also part. How come the doer and the soul is mentioned as four material causes, and not as
Which verse you are saying?
16 and the purport? It is mentioned one should see not only the four material causes, but the supreme efficient cause as well. So just a small doubt in terms of how come the soul, which is the doer, is considered under the four material causes.
So that's why I've said that it is not the soul. But what it is? Can anyone say?
It's the karta, a performer.
But
Ahankara,
who is that
False
karta?
ego.
Yes.
false ego.
The consciousness tainted by false ego. So that is the karta, the thinking who is doer. So that's why it is mentioned that four material causes.
Okay. In the 14th verse, it is mentioned the performer, which is the doer. And there it is mentioned the soul within the body is acting to bring about the results of activities and therefore known as karta, the doer. So that's why.
But what is the soul within the body means? Means he is a conditioned soul.
Yeah.
So conditioned soul means always he is covered with the false ego.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Any other question?
Prabhuji, what is the exact meaning of effort exerted by life here? Cheshta.
See, whenever we do any work, like now I'm speaking, so this is nothing but the effect of life airs. Or when I move my hand up, down. So this is all the, life airs are functioning within the body. So that's why we see that when the disease like paralysis, it is mentioned that it is a disease of life airs. Because life airs are not functioning in that part of the body. So that's why that body doesn't work well. So cheshta or the endeavors that is performed with the body is what we can say propelled by life airs.
Mhm. Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay. Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. This is Lilananda Prabhuji. Prabhuji, always I wondered, not related to what we discussed, but this Ekadashi date, tomorrow is Ekadashi in Pune and it's not Ekadashi in Hyderabad.
Okay.
So it's on Wednesday. Why does this occur, Prabhuji? I mean, is it so close? We are just hardly.
Yeah, I'm fortunate to know the answer. So I also did a research on this, and I was also wondering. So I got the answer that we observe the Ekadashi when sun sees it at the sunrise time. So at the time of sunrise, which tithi is there, that tithi we observe on that day.
Okay.
So sometimes due to small, difference in time, it happens that in some place the tithi comes one day before and some day it comes in the next day.
Oh.
So at the, let's say that sunrise time is 5 a.m. and the Ekadashi tithi is starting at 7:04 a.m. So then 7:05 a.m. sunrise time, Ekadashi tithi is there. So then we observe on that day. But if at some place the sunrise is 7:03 a.m., that means at the time of sunrise, which tithi was there? Dashami was there.
Okay.
So that's why Ekadashi is not observed on that day. And then the next day, again, at the time of sunrise, the Ekadashi is there. Not even that.
How long does a tithi last, Prabhuji?
Yeah, so I'm coming to that. Sometimes it happens that on the next day morning, during the time of sunrise, the tithi has already completed. And then the tithi goes away. It is not counted. So then we do Ekadashi on Dwadashi. So that is called as Mahadwadashi. So that also comes sometimes in 3-4 times in the year it comes. Mahadwadashi. And there is one more event. I'm not able to recollect. So that also occurs. So that is also there. One more event just like that. I can share you. I have that link to that website.
Yeah,
so then you can go there.
Yeah, please share. I'll share to others in the group also.
And how long the tithi lasts, I'm not sure with that duration as of now.
Okay. So if I'm in Pune tomorrow, I'm traveling to Hyderabad, I'll have 2 Ekadashis.
Yes, you'll be more fortunate. Do it twice.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Dandavat.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.